magic makers. Did someone say flowers? I mean, magic making mischief. Hi, I'm Gabriella.
I'm Yukita Cosplay, aka Dolores.
Isabel.
I'm just CJ Peterson. There is no other me. They broke the mold when they made me. I'm just good old fashioned CJ Peterson.
She is the incomparable.
I am
CJ
just me.
Peterson.
I am an author, blogger, podcaster, publisher, and speaker. But I am the one and only CJ Peterson. Welcome to Magic Making Mischief. We have a few people who said hi. Jeremy says hi. Henry says hey. Huge
me too.
Yes.
Me too.
So welcome to Magic Making Mischief. Before we get too far, get your wands to the ready, guys, because we are in season 3 and we're going to be getting into lots and lots of mischief. So we solemnly swear we're up to no good. And speaking of being up to no good, we have a special guest starting our season 3, Miss Adassa herself.
Hi. Hello, everyone. So glad to be with all of you.
We're so happy you're with us.
We're so
I actually got a chance to share it to the Encanto group, so I was hoping a few people would get a chance to show up because it's specifically a group on Facebook that's Encanto fans, and I'm like, you guys gotta come today.
How do I not know about this? I've been listening to the Encanto soundtrack all day. Yay! And of course, to Adassa. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Have to.
Well, I know that I met you back at Comic Conroe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This gentleman is actually in the group. I met you back at Comic Conroe, and when I met you, Ms. Yukita over here had that outfit on, and I explained to people the fact that I actually ran the floor when I was running Comic Conroe, and I had a hard time figuring out which one was which because they look so much alike.
Like her
it was on point. I remember taking a picture with you. I was like, wow, you went. I still have that picture. And that day I was actually in cosplay too. So
yes, you were.
Yes, they were both Dolores. And it was so awesome because I literally So at one point I was actually filming part of my vlog for Comic Conroe, and Adassa came up behind me. Actually, you did. But I didn't realize it was you at first. I don't know if I ever got the chance to tell you this story. Because we're both dressed as Dolores, I think, that day. And so you leaned over and like put your chin on my shoulder and said something to the camera. And it was just me and the tripod. And I turned around, kind of look, and then I'm like, wait, that's not Yukita. And I'm just like, okay, keep going. In my head, but I was just like, oh my gosh.
No, that's such a compliment, truly. It really is. Like, I didn't realize that would be my defining cosplay moment because, like, I look exactly like the character, and then I meet the voice actress, and she's just as beautiful as I ever thought she was going to be. And I'm not gonna lie, I had a little bit of fangirl obsession for a while, or 6 months, but it's kidding. But like after that, a lot of people were like, hey, you should like come out as Dolores or like dress up as this character because you look so much like her and la la la. And next thing you know, it ended up becoming my character.
Wow.
It's definitely one of her signature cosplays.
Everybody knows me as a Dolores cosplayer. So here I am, and it's all thanks to you.
Oh, Yukita. Thank you, Yukita.
Yeah, people come to me like, where's Adassa? I'm like, there's one there and one there. I don't know which one it is, but you choose.
Like, look for Dolores, and then
you choose. Henry said, I figured I just had to be in this live stream. Jeremy said, who walked up to me and said hello. Queen Marisa says hi. And if I remember correctly, you actually sang with Mombi.
I did.
I videoed that one.
Oh, best panel ever.
Oh wow. Yes. Oh wow. You have a beautiful voice too.
Yeah, she does.
Thank you.
But no, it's fun. So finally having you on our show, it's been a really treat. So I'm excited to have you on. Thank you, Kita, for getting her on. So something I learned from the other podcast I was on is that you have a huge amount of children.
Yeah.
How do you keep everything balanced?
Well, it's more like prioritizing my life. So I make sure that I have the time to spend with them and give them what they need. I'm also a homeschooling parent. So then, on Monday
Yes.
through Friday, it's usually with my children. And then in the evenings, like right now when I have a podcast, they totally understand. My husband's amazing. So he's a lot of the times when I travel, he is Mr. Mom. So very seldom does he get to be on the road with me. But I just have an amazing just family, and my kids are so great, and they are all in the arts. So some of them are illustrators and they're working on their own shows and animations while they're going to school. So I'm really happy because I got 5 babies at home, and one of which is already graduating high school. She's 15 and wanted to do that by 14, and I'm like,
Wow, that's awesome.
Wow.
time to doing her show. So yeah,
Congratulations,
goodness.
homeschool
Okay,
win.
super
Wow, that's
mom.
awesome. I
I'm
forgot we had the homeschooling thing in common. I totally forgot you did mention that whenever we met in Comic Con, and I thought that was so awesome because it's funny because you don't have a whole lot of people that actually talk about it. There are more homeschoolers than you think there are, but like a lot of times we kind of keep it to ourselves because it's kind of one of those weird hot button topics. It's like people will have one opinion or the other.
It works for me. Yeah. I'm not saying it's for everybody because there's some parents that are like, I could never. I just want to be at work. I like, you know what I mean? Let the teachers take care of it. To me, it's like I know they're going to be out of my home, and I want to teach them not just spiritually, but also have that contact and that bond with them, because the person that they spend the most amount of time with, I would like it to be me if it's possible, because you kind of imprint when you spend a lot of time with each other. And so the greatest influence I wanted to be from me. Am I perfect? Absolutely not. I'm always listening and learning and listening to podcasts and learning from other instructors, other teachers. They are in the homeschooling group too, that we get together with a whole bunch of parents that do this, and on one day a week. And then that way they have their social and they get their arts and they get their drama, both on stage and off stage. And so you know how it is, and it's really fun. And then when I hit the road, like I'm going to Peru next month and I'm going to be off for a week, I also have a sitter that comes in, and she's awesome with the kids. So I have to accept what I can do and then leave that grace for us to grow together and have experiences that not everybody would have. And I'm grateful that my kids do want to have those experiences, and when I can take them on the road with me, I do. So they have come on Comic-Cons. So it's
That's
exciting.
so neat.
Yeah, I love the
that
freedom
about
of schedule that comes with that for sure. And like the personal time. Absolutely, totally agree with you on that. Yes.
But I admire the fact that you're putting family first.
Yes.
But you've got your career, and you're not letting any of the career overshadow or over influence your family itself. And you're keeping that sacred, and you're keeping your faith sacred.
Yeah, it's the career is a means to create the environment in which I want my kids to thrive, and for me to be able to have something when I'm older that I can be able to like say, hey, you guys go have your life, and this is my home and my thing, and you can come visit me, not to be like begging my kids like, I need to sleep in your car because I have nowhere to be, you know. Right. And I also want to be an example to my children that you can have a dream and you can have an aspiration, and it doesn't go away when you decide to be a mother or to be a homemaker or a caretaker. So I feel like that a lot of the youth today is made to feel like they have to choose with it, which in like having a career or being a parent. And it's not that. It's like you get to have a career and to be a parent. And it's so much richer because at the end of the day, when you clock out of your job, you come home and you have this amazing support system. And then you can learn and grow in other aspects that a job doesn't really permit you to do. And it also keeps you humble. I will say that.
Yes.
So I did read a little bit on your website. I did a little bit of research, and something I didn't know last time is that you almost were not Dolores.
Yeah. Yes. So I got really sick. I got sick during the casting process. And my husband literally looked at me because during the casting, number one, they reached out to me to see if I wanted to audition. And I was like, what, are you kidding me? Absolutely. Hands down. It's been a dream of mine since I was 9 years old to be in anything related to Disney. And I did my first round. I submitted my demo, and then I moved on. So they're like, okay, I had my callback, which I was over the moon for. I went in for my callback. Then after my callback, I started feeling a little sick. And so I thought maybe I'm pregnant again. I thought like baby number 8. But it turned out to be completely the opposite of what I thought. I went into the hospital, and within minutes, I couldn't speak and I couldn't move, and then I couldn't walk, and then I couldn't talk, and then I became paralyzed from the neck down. And so I literally wrote my will during that moment. I was like, I wrote my will. They couldn't find what was wrong. And then after a second opinion at Vanderbilt, 14 hours with CT scans, blood work, I mean, MRIs, everything under the sun, the neurologist told me, you have long haul COVID. And with COVID, there's so many unknowns. We don't know when or if these symptoms will pass. And so I went to home to die. I thought I was going home to die. And that's when we got the call from Jamie Sparrow Roberts herself, which was the casting director for so many great films like Frozen. And I mean, you name it, she's done it. Wreck-It Ralph, obviously our film, Moana. And that's when my husband said, you know, you can't take this. And I told him, you call him if I'm dead. So literally, he was like, okay.
The determination.
You know, and it really was like training like Rocky, but in slow motion, just reaching the bathroom and from the bathroom to the door and from the door to the end of the street. And that was my training until I feel like it was miraculous. And like through God's grace, I was able to come out of it. And just a few weeks later, I was recording, you know, with the producers and with Jared Bush and Byron Howard and Lin-Manuel Miranda himself. So it was truly miraculous. But yeah, it almost didn't happen.
Goosebumps. I love that for you so much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I
read that in the thing and I'm like, holy cow. Before we get too far, Henry says, I would like to check out Adassa's kids' works. Is some of that on your website at all?
Not yet. So I have been, they're working on their stuff, and I've had some incredible friends of mine to kind of counsel them. They're like, hey, before this is ready, make sure to kind of hold back and get everything under paperwork that legally, you know, nobody steals your ideas. But my daughter, Alyssa, was in the film of Encanto. She's one of the town kids. So that was super fun. Yes. Because it wasn't just a blessing for me and a dream come true for me, but it was something that I got to share with my daughter. And so coming from an industry where I started off in reggaeton and hip hop, where I had to literally claw my way and make my path and open the way for other women to be able to then just drive right in through. I know what it is to be in a career in which opportunities weren't there, and then you had to create the space and manifest that. And to see my daughter just be asked, hey, would you like to audition and for me to get a role in a part, you know, being Afro-Latina, I feel like, wow, I'm so grateful that I held in there and I stood my ground and I upheld my principles, and to now be able to gift an opportunity where my daughter could be considered, because obviously I can't give her the opportunity. She still has to deliver, and she did. And so after that, she was cast in Dora the Explorer, and she got cast as Cody and Coco Melon and commercials and stuff. And so she started to develop her own, you know, her own path to voiceover. So
that is so cool.
That is very cool.
Awesome.
Like I said, before we get too far, Henry's asked his good case for homeschooling from Adassa. And he said, didn't know about the remarkable story Adassa told about the story of her casting, or the fact that her daughter played one of the kids in Encanto. And Abrisha says, hi.
Oh, wow.
So, hold on. I'll remember in a minute. Y'all it was important. I'll remember.
Nikita?
Oh, my goodness. So, okay. I want to point out something about Little Miss Princesa de Reggaeton here. That is one of the cool other things. Did y'all know that she's a singer? Did you know what she had to do to get this part? Did you know that she had to rap really fast so she could get this part?
Oh, I remember.
I remember this from the panel. Yes, and I was impressed. Oh my goodness.
Wait, can we hear it?
Do it.
Like, so this is what it feels like to match wits with someone at your level. What the hell is a catch? It's the feeling of freedom, of seeing the light. It's been fracking with a key and a kite. You see it, right? That was one of the pieces I auditioned with.
Yeah. I'm turning this into a short. This is getting turned into a short.
Oh my goodness. Yes. Oh my God. So by the way, she's amazing.
Hands down.
Clearly. So she had
what? You could totally do Hamilton, by the way.
Nice. And then she made a song "Walk Away," which I got stuck in my head for a month. Yes, "Walk Away" was stuck in my head for a month. I literally was at work telling people to just walk away, because I didn't like them. But that's a different story.
So okay, so I remember my question now. Sorry, my brain went like.
Chris says encore.
My question was, when y'all did Encanto, you said that because of what was going on, when y'all did the awesome like epic scene where everyone's singing different rounds in that one specific song, y'all weren't in the same place. Is that right?
Yeah, no, during the whole entire filming process, we were not in the same space. Like I was in Nashville, where I am now, and some people were in Colombia, New York, LA, Miami. So we actually didn't even see the full product until we previewed it as a whole entire familia Madrigal with online, and I was just bawling because what they had to do was amazing. Even with we don't talk about Bruno. What we heard as our demo was Lin-Manuel on Lin-Manuel on Lin-Manuel. It was like a Lin-Manuel cake. So I was like, I don't Lin-Manuel cake. Lin-Manuel numero 5 or like 6. I'm not sure where I am.
That's so cool.
So when I heard it, I love the fact that Lin-Manuel gave me the opportunity to kind of show him what I was thinking for the role. Instead of singing it an octave higher, like, good to live in fear, Bruno stuttering and stumbling, you know, I took it to the, good to live in fear, Bruno stuttering and stumbling. I can always hear him sort of muttering and mumbling. I associate him with the sound of falling sand. And so I was like, my eyes were closed. I was like, I hope he's not like, I'm gonna cry. But he liked what I did, and that's what stayed on the final, which was, you know, the octave lower of what he was thinking of. And he was like, I didn't think you could sing it that low, but it's great. I love it. Leave it just like that. And
it's awesome. And it was beautiful. And I love that he gave you that kind of creative like freedom to work with it, with something that you could actually do more fully with your talent. And that's beautiful. I love that.
I am so forever grateful to have worked with him. And then really the moment in which we had that like Mickey Mouse Club experience, you know, was when we got to do the Hollywood Bowl. And then we were all together in one place and rehearsing. That was like, I will never forget that moment. I was just floored and just so overjoyed. And I felt so beyond humble and grateful to have been included in a project of such magnitude that went on to win the Oscar and Grammys and Billboard Awards and the Golden Globes. It was just,
oh my gosh,
incredible. Might I just say, I'm the most proud of We Don't Talk About Bruno because it beat out Frozen's Let It Go.
I know, right?
I am so proud. Good job,
and the award show performance was really good too, just saying.
Actually, Geek Cried pointed something out right here. He said, I love how the movie showed actually had them sound Colombian instead of a generic Spanish accent you hear in most animations depicting Latinos.
Yes.
That is valid.
I mean,
yeah, it was very specific.
Even as I speak like I'm a Latina. Like my English, even though my parents were very, very keen on making sure that we didn't have much of an accent, we still have it within the tone of our voices. And when you look at the one who played Felix Mauro Castillo, or you look at Diane Guerrero, we have within us that Colombian essence. And no, they didn't like try to let's speak like this. It was like, just let yourself be free, you know, interpret these words. So when you hear, you know, Stephanie Beatriz say casita, you know what I mean? She says it not like casita, you know, or
casita.
You know what I mean? Just says it like it
Where's
is.
the casita?
Casita right there.
It was very natural. Yeah, it flowed very well.
Hunter says makes sense. Dolores wouldn't want to hear high pitched.
Exactly. Facts. She wouldn't want to be like, you know.
But that's yeah. Well, that's it's kind of like trying to explain to people when you're writing, you don't go against the character of the character. It's the same thing with your singing. You're not going to want to go against the character of the character. So you taking her down an octave was better than taking her high pitched.
Exactly.
She's not a high.
The only time she literally let loose was when she was at the dinner table and she couldn't hold it any longer. And it was just like a balloon having the air just be let out at once. That was the only time. Mirabel's on Bruno's vision. She's in it. You know what I mean? That was the only time she let loose.
Brisha wants to know, are you working on other projects like Encanto?
There are other projects that I'm working on. Unfortunately, I cannot discuss which projects they are at this moment. And everything takes quite a few years to be completed. But I was really grateful to be working with Angel Studios. We just released an episode.
What's up, Angel Studios?
Yeah,
that's awesome.
I work with them and with Tuttle Twins. So that was really, really fun because I played myself. It was just me.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
Yeah.
Now I have to watch that too, obviously.
Oh my gosh. I
love
did not know
Angel
this. Studios. Yes. They've got some amazing productions. They're actually working on a movie that we helped with some of the sponsorships that open up called David that's coming, and it should be really
Oh,
amazing.
I love David. The
So
artwork.
excited for that.
Magnificent.
Yes, they're going for like that classic Disney style, and I love that about it. When they pitched it, I was just like, yes, we want to be involved in this somehow, please.
Yes.
Sorry.
You have Comic-Cons coming up all over the world?
Yes, I do, all over the world. So I will be in New Zealand this year in October. In April, I'll be in Huntsville Comic-Con and Pop Expo. In May, I'll be in MegaCon in Memphis. In June, in RightCon. And as well as other wonderful places that you'll hear about, especially Smoky Mountain just here in Tennessee. So I'm really excited. Lots of new dates, and I'll be posting them on my Instagram. So please follow me at Adassa Official on Instagram, on my TikTok, on Twitter as well.
Okay. Toy Hunter wants to know, are you excited for the Encanto land at Disney World?
I am ridiculously excited. Like, I cannot wait. I need an excuse to go again with my children, and I'm so excited. I think it's 2027 when it'll be unveiled, so they'll have an Encanto ride, and I cannot wait to go and ride.
Oh, they better invite you out to that.
Ride, yes.
That should definitely be Disney's plan.
Henry has seen the Tuttle Twins. He says, love the episode of the Tuttle Twins you were in. Totally agree with the message about freedom of religion. Since I'm a Christian, have both Muslim friends and a couple of Jewish friends.
Yes, I love the message when they reached out to me, and I was like, absolutely. I think that one of the greatest things that we can all agree on, and I really truly feel that way, is that we should have the freedom to believe and to choose whatever we want that is right for us, and allow others that same privilege, because that's what really makes a free society of people who are not just following because they're scared, but be able to stand up for what they believe and stand up for that, and as well as celebrate others who stand up for what they believe, because I think the celebration should be in embracing who you are and allowing others that same privilege. And so when they asked me, I was like, I'm in it. And so I had a really cool song that they wrote for me, and it was so much fun.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
Awesome. I'm so going to do that. So I have an interesting thought that I wanted to ask you about, because there's been speculation in regards to Encanto, and that's been most of our focus. Sorry, but they show some of the rooms in the movie. Some in Encanto, they show some of the rooms, and they're all catered to the super abilities that each family member has. So the question is, they were contemplating about what did Dolores's room look like, and there were different thoughts. What are your thoughts on it, though? I'm curious.
I think my room would probably be very zen and very focused on other senses. Like, I would have like a sensory wall for my hands, maybe like a little bit of sand just to have that moment. Feathers, very white, very nice, very long hallway. Like, you open the door and you have to walk quite a ways before you get to my room, which is like extended. Noise cancellation headphones for myself and my friends, like super tropical feelings of relaxation and just openness. And if I could have any other power, it would be teleportation, so I could teleport myself more than a mile away so that I can have a little break from all the chaos.
Since she can hear a mile away, right?
Right? When you hear that saying, my cousin Dolores can hear this whole chorus a mile away.
Yes, I can. Oh my goodness.
Well, if you had any advice for somebody who wanted to be, say, a singer or songwriter type person, since that was your original, what would you do? What would you tell them?
Number one, there doesn't need to be someone like you for you to exist in this space. Uniqueness is valued and celebrated. So if you haven't seen anyone who writes like you or sings like you, that's all right. They're waiting for you. And be patient with yourself, because not every door is going to open, and not every single person is going to have favorable criticism for what your work is. But just know that if this is what you want to do, move forward passionately. But I will also advise that if there's anything else in the world that you can do, do that, because you need to have a thick skin in this business. The music world, the writing world, it will make you dig deep. And as a writer, I will say that the most beautiful stories are the ones that come from truth, regardless if that truth is joy, or that truth is pain, or that truth is despair, or that truth is hope. So you're going to have to explore different sides of yourself. And if you're willing to explore them, this is for you. But if you're not, just find something else that you can also be passionate about, and keep this as another way of creativity and flowing in a way that you can express yourself. But if it is what you want to do, study the greats, study what they're doing, Don't give up on yourself. Become a master at your craft and become the best that you can be. Because the one thing that no one will be able to overlook is greatness.
True.
Well
Definitely
said.
True.
Beautifully said.
I love it. And you've already told us how your daughter became a voice actress. What about voice actors?
All right, if you're a voice actor, I would recommend actorsaccess.com or backstage.com if you do not have an agent. They actually have really good leads on things that you can apply for and possibilities of you doing background acting work. And I know you say like, oh my goodness, but what? I need to pay my bills. Hey, find another way to pay your bills, because this is not the business in which you're going to get in. You're going to get hired first gig and that's it. You're banking and making millions. That's not how this works. You can be in it for many, many years and barely get by. So if you're willing to put in the work, number one, become really great at letting loose with your emotions. You don't need to sugarcoat it and you don't need to be someone else. You need to interpret the character the way that you would, because that's what they're looking for. They need an 80-20, 80% of what's out there and 20% of, that's different. That's what you need to bring to the table. And so when you're looking at a character, you say like, how would I interpret this character? How would I interpret this line where it's genuine for me? Where do I need to go in my emotions, in my past, to make this a viable character with a backstory? Because it's all about finding out what makes this backstory real and true. Even if it's a fantasy, you need to make it believable and make it real for them, because that's what people really want to see. They want to be entertained, and being entertained means that you can become that fairy tale and make it as if it was real.
Very cool.
I love that.
Can we give her a slow clap for that? Because like
all the way through for both of them.
Yes.
Henry says, I hope Disney makes an Encanto Disney Plus series that focuses on members of the family in slower slice of life events.
With original voices, please.
That would be perfect, please.
Brisha says, so voice acting is sort of like cosplaying with your own spin on it.
Yes, exactly.
There you go. Yeah.
There you go. You are bringing a character to life. And that's all you need to do. Breathe life into that character. But it's your breath. It's your interpretation. So when I'm singing a song, it'll sound one way. If somebody else was to play the role, like look at right now when you hear Defying Gravity, you know what I'm saying? And you know Idina Menzel played this character, but you hear it now and you're going, look at this person's interpretation of this character. They're both playing the same character, but they're both giving it their own taste, their own spin. So when you hear her sing, and throwing her voice that way, it's different than Idina Menzel, but that interpretation is her own visualization, her own interpretation of that character. So just make whatever it is that you're doing your own, and then own it.
Okay. Can you give us one more rap before we go?
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Oh, could you do the Dolores one?
All right. He told me that the man of my dreams would be just out of reach, but drove to another. It's like I hear him now.
Hey, sis.
I
want not a sound out of you.
Now I can hear him now.
Beautiful.
Yay,
So much for joining us today. We
Such a
appreciate
blessing.
it.
Great way to start season 1. Thank you
Yeah.
so much for joining.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for joining who are watching. Super excited. Great way to start season 1. Adassa, thank you. For those who want to learn. Oh, okay. Bruno.
Yeah.
Keeping it going.
2 thumbs up. See ya.
Yeah.
Great guest. We don't talk about Bruno. Bye. You guys say something about Bruno or we're going to be in trouble.
But we don't talk about Bruno.
We don't talk about Bruno, no.
Not a word about Bruno.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Okay, to learn more about Adassa, head over to our website, https://AD. Oh, now I need to find it. Hold on. Spell it up.
It's moving too fast.
ADASSA-OFFICIAL.com. I have to spell it all out. Make sure to reach out to Adassa there. You can find her there. You can find her on her social medias, which she already given throughout the course, which is Adassa Official as her handle. Make sure to check in next week. We're going to have Jade Kelly, voice actress who does what, ladies?
She's a voice actress for anime and also is a seamstress.
Yeah. Very cool. Awesome. Mommy Rella, guys, get your wands to the ready because Marilla's going to take us out.
Yes. Thank you so much, guys, for joining us. And what a wonderful way to kick off the new year. Thank you so much, Adassa. Such a pleasure.
So much.
So, if y'all haven't had a chance to yet, please hit that thumbs up or the like and subscribe to Mommy Rella and CJ Peterson on YouTube, as well as follow Yukita Cosplay on Instagram. And till next time, guys, thanks for joining us. Mischief managed. Bye.